The aftermath of the Jeff Hornacek firing. Rambis is gone too. We're going to get into the top coaching candidates. Who you want to coach the Knicks next. We're going to get into the management press conference, man. So we'll take your live calls, get your thoughts on everything, and let's start it up. Post-game live, Saturday edition. What's good to everybody out there on YouTube? What up, everybody on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch? This is Post-game live. CP, the NY Fanatic here. I got my man Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show on the other side. Yo, #1 Knicks fan, post-game, live stream on social media. You already know. So if this is your first time, definitely subscribe to our channels. Definitely check us out on social media. We're just getting started, man. So this is the end of the year wrap up, man. This is the post-game, the postseason wrap up. Knicks ain't in the postseason on the start of the playoffs. What else is new? But listen, it's gonna be a slow process, a slow grind, and we just gotta grind it out, man. So, Jay Ellis, I'm gonna swing it to you, man. What was your take on this Hornacek firing? They didn't even let him get home. They rented out a conference room at the airport. Like, step inside real quick, buddy. We gotta talk.
First of all, everyone on Instagram, man, watch me right now. Head to my YouTube link in the bio to watch the post game live.
Thanks.
All right, check it. First of all, just on a pure comedy standpoint, it was like, come on, man. He didn't even get to touch home. He didn't even get to use the toilet in his home bathroom before he got fired. Like, that was kind of crazy, bro. Like, the jet landed. He got fired right on the plane.
You got to go, man.
Fired on the plane.
Quick meeting. You gotta roll.
Yo, it's funny. It's funny when you hear people's perspective on how things go. Because when you hear Scott Perry and Mills kind of explain it, it doesn't sound as bad. It's like, yeah, we thought about it, and we thought that was the best way to go. We just do it right there on the plane, so he didn't have to think about it for the next day. And when you think about it like that, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's considerate, I guess. But then it's like, damn, on the plane, like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird perspective, but it's interesting. That's my first thought. My second thought is, I know Rambis got fired right after it. Me personally,
the so-called defensive guru, Kurt Rambis. You got to
go. Defensive guru, Kurt Rambis.
Get him
right?
Out of here. Get him out of here.
Got out of here. Got him the hell out of here. He got fired. I was actually more happy that Rambis was fired than Jeff. To be honest with you, Jeff, I was shaky on because of his shortcomings that we can get into later. But I was really, really happy that Rambis was there because I felt like.
But you know what was so funny is that once Phil got fired last year, I thought Rambis was gonna go with him.
Me too.
Know what I'm saying, but I don't know if that was a friendship between Jeff and Rambis, or maybe he really valued Rambis as a quote-unquote defensive guru. But I was shocked to see Rambis come back this season.
I was thinking the same thing, man. I really couldn't believe it because basically, I kind of felt like it was almost like not a pity hire, but it was like, you know what? We've been in the trenches together, and I'm familiar with you, so let's do it. Because it wasn't really results based. Because if you look at what we was doing, what he was doing before, when he was with Phil, he took over for that short stint, and the Knicks were terrible.
Yeah,
they were beyond terrible. The players hated him. They kind of revolted.
I mean, at the Lakers when he was on the Lakers.
Not even when he was on the Lakers. I'm talking about there was a stint where Derek Fisher was fired.
Oh, yes.
And he took over the Knicks for like 10, 15 games. Yeah. And everybody hated him.
They hated him.
Hated it. Aaron Aflalo was like, what are you doing? Whose man's is this? I don't think KP liked him. I don't think Courtney Lee liked him, but they kept him. And then he was in charge of the defensive coordination last year, and we were last in the league in three-point defense. But so I don't understand why he's still here. I just don't. And even then, I think the only reason he's still here is because once the new regime came here, he kind of stepped to Jeff like a man. Was like, listen, tell me right now, do you want to get me rid of me or not? I just want to know. And I kind of felt like that move kept him there for longer than he should have been. Pretty much.
Yeah.
He got the sympathy vote.
Fact. Well, you know what? With me, I think I'm not surprised by the fire, right? You know, they went 60 and 104, something crazy like that over the last 2 years. I thought Jeff came here admirably under forced circumstances, and I thought that he took the job as a way to get back in, reestablish his credibility as a head coach. He had just gotten canned out of Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think he had many offers. I think Golden State wanted him as the assistant. So he probably saw the window to be a head coach again. Took it. They forced a triangle on him. I don't know what sport you ever see where the offensive system is driven by the management and by the structure up top. You knew that was destined for failure.
Yeah, that's a horrible situation.
You knew that was destined for failure. So I'll give credit to him. He took it under them circumstances. Management failed him with the roster. He came in with no lottery pick, no first-round pick at all. Thank you, Glenn Grunwald, for that.
Yeah, man.
You know, they trade for D-Rose. Terrible trade. They signed Noah. I mean, terrible signing for the money. You know what I'm saying? I still thought he could have contributed, but we were better off with Robin Lopez. Brought in Courtney Lee. Good move, but the team was still a hodgepodge team. It was a terrible defensive team. Offensively, it was terrible. You had two ball-dominant ball stoppers in D-Rose and Melo. You know what I'm saying? They stunted KP's development, and the first year was a disaster.
Yeah, and he didn't have the pieces to work with. Yeah.
Right. So now Phil is gone. You go into a second year. I wanted to give him a chance for a second year. You wanted to see what he was going to do with the young guys and develop. They started off hot. You know, they had the favorable home schedule. They started off well. They were playing hard for him. Defensively, you saw some improvements. Offensively, you saw it. But, you know, once the injuries happened and once the season went on into that grind, you know, they came back to earth, and you expected that.
Yeah.
So with that, you wanted to see, or at least I wanted to see some signs of what would make me improvement. What would make me want to see this guy come back next year, right? And I thought, you know, the management hit it right on the head, man. Accountability, defense.
Yes.
The defense was atrocious, especially the three-point defense, and there was no accountability whatsoever for players. Guys was able to make mistakes time and time again.
Yeah, man.
And you just didn't see it. You
didn't
see it. You know what I'm saying? And with accountability comes respect. And if you don't hold these guys accountable, they're not going to respect you, man. I think the management hit it right on the head with that. And maybe he could have done a better job with a more improved roster, and we could have seen that growth year over year. But I thought they pulled the trigger at the right time.
Yeah, like here's the thing: is like in the beginning of the season too, they started off strong, man. They started off with the United Front. They had like the little Super Friends was posing together for pictures with Mills and the coach, and it was all kumbaya. And it was really talking that talk about it's all going to be about competition, or whoever's going to be the best is going to be the one getting the competition. I remember even them talking about there's going to have all these metrics in practice, and there's going to have like competition in the background to see who can get the starting position. They were saying there's going to grade defensive rotations, and if you got more defensive rotations correct, you would get more playing time. And you like their whole goal was to get like in the 90th percentile. So I'm like, all this sounds all fine and dandy, but I got the feeling that as the season wore on, they didn't stick to their plan, because I feel like that happened in the first couple of months, and then when the November, December hit, I think they went away from that. It showed. Yeah, it showed on the team. Like I said on this show, Michael Beasley worked his way into the rotation. He did not start off playing that well on both ends of the court. KP went down. He started getting more playing time. He started getting buckets, and he actually was a pretty decent help defender. But then I felt like after a while, he earned his spot, and they stopped kind of monitoring his progress on the defensive end. And that thing kind of echoed onto different players. It was like you go to Cantor, I felt like he was up and down too. But I felt like Cantor gives a little more consistent effort. He just physically can't do it. But there was like Tim Hardaway Jr. is another one where I felt like he didn't close out on shooters the whole year, but he started off kind of strong, but he still didn't close out on the shooters consistently the whole year. And the coach, and that's on the coach, and that's not on the players. Injuries are on the, injuries are injuries, but the coach has to hold people accountable for the entire year, not just the first 2 months. In a nutshell. So on that note, I'm even on. Listen, I understand why he's gone. I was iffy on it. In my mind, I thought the best case scenario would be to hire an actual defensive coach to this team to actually shore up that responsibility, because I myself, I'm tired of recycling coaches every year, every 2 years, learning a new system every year, having KP have 3, 4, 5 different coaches
we need that stability, man. 11 coaches in 14 years is crazy. We need some stability for sure.
Yes. So from that point of view, I'm not 100% happy that Jeff was fired, but at the same time, we do need like a defensive presence here, and I don't even know. I don't even know if it was even possible to add just a defensive coach to our squad and keep the gravy train moving. So that's my take on it, man.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man, it's unfortunate. Like I said, I like the guy. I wanted to give him a chance, but it just for many reasons it just didn't work. And I thought, we'll get into the management press conference in a bit, but I thought they hit it right on the head with some of the things that they said in terms of what they was looking for in the coach and how they felt like it was time for a change. You know what I mean? Real quick, shout out to everybody in the YouTube chat: Royal J Dog, Shako, Big Rich, what up? Chinky Eye, what up? Weekly Knicks TV, Yaron Show, Knowledge Seeker, what's good?
What's good, man?
Yeah, man. So, with that being said, and the new regime getting started, we got the draft coming up in June. Obviously, lottery in May, determine where our fate will lie. Who's gonna be next? So I mean, we hearing different names. We hearing obviously the fan favorite is Mark Jackson. We hearing Van Gundy. We hearing Jerry Stackhouse, Jay Wright. Yeah. We're hearing if Doc Rivers shakes out at Clippers, I would imagine they want to talk to Doc Rivers. We're hearing David Fizdale, the Memphis Grizzlies coach. We were also hearing Jason Kidd. Monty Williams, who not really feeling, but you know what?
Whatever.
Those are the names. Those are the names, man. So, Jay Ellis, you wanna get into your top 4?
Yeah. So I got like a top 4 right now. And you know what? This changes from week to week. I'm gonna be honest with you, because at first I was like, Mark, but then I was like, I don't know, Mark Jackson. He has his highs and his lows. All these coaches have good and bad to them.
That's true.
All these coaches have good and bad to them. Every single one of them. And I weigh them in my mind. Now, for me, right now, I think it's Jeff Van Gundy. And then everybody else is like tied for second. I don't know which one I've actually selected in my mind yet. And I'll say Jeff. And I'll tell you why, because when you think of Jeff and you think of Mark, right? They both have that NY pedigree. They both have that NY experience. Jeff was able to bring the Knicks to the finals. He's also has a really good winning percentage, and he's tested. He's battle tested. So I love that about Jeff Van Gundy. Now my question mark with Jeff is, he's older. Sometimes the older guys are a little set in their ways on how they run things, a la Phil Jackson. You know what I'm saying? A la even Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson wants to run a slower offense sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That was his knock when he was in Phoenix. Even though he had a good defense, he was a good defensive mind.
Golden State.
I'm sorry, Golden State. I'm sorry. Thanks for the catch. So that was my concern with Jeff. But I've also heard that, Jeff, he's still kind of in the mix. And he's studying like the Rockets offense right now and their analytics. So that kind of gives me some kind of hope that he's not stuck in his way. He's able to bend with and grow with the NBA and figure out, how things work right now. So you know what? And that's what made me start to lean more towards Jeff because you know what, both him and Mark have that "I'm from New York" thing going. But I'm less scared that Jeff is going to be mad at somebody in the organization. First of all, because you know Mark has that reputation. You know, he had a 50 win. He won 50 plus wins in Phoenix, but you know what? He didn't get along with everybody in Phoenix, and you know what? They rub players the wrong way. But Jeff, he seemed to get along with players and organizations. So I feel like, you know what? I'm rocking with Jeff right now as my number one choice. Now, if Mark stepped to the plate and he went to an interview and they were like, you know what happened there? Tell me what went wrong in Phoenix. And he kind of owned it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I'm sorry, Golden State. I don't know why I keep saying I said Phoenix 3 times. Golden State, if he went to Golden State and kind of owned what he did wrong and say, you know what, maybe I should have did this differently. I'm not going to do that here. Then I might flip-flop that because I already know now that Mark is proven. I guess he would move to my second choice.
Yeah.
He would move to my second choice if that was squared away.
What about Jay Wright?
Jay Wright, I love because of his record with Villanova. He was able to bring Villanova to a championship this year and last year, and he was able to do it with two different sets of groups, two different sets of kids, and just kind of had that same type of brand of basketball of sharing the ball and having, you know, a defensive-minded system. And when you're able to do that with different people, you start to think, you know what, that's a good coach because it's not just about the person. He can just kind of coach. So that's what made me think, like, you know what, this Jay Wright thing might be a good look. Plus, plus, you know what, he knows how to handle the kids now, man. He has that experience talking to college players. So he's within the era. He's not going to be like, what are analytics? What are this? What's the kids doing? He's going to be in tune with that. So that's why I like that Jay Wright pick. And that's kind of also why I like the Fizdale pick as well, because he already has that he already has the reputation of being able to relate to the players. I heard a story where he said he came to coach, he had on a Wu-Tang shirt and some jeans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, all right. And people were like, wait, this is my coach? So, you know, you can relate. He's not so far removed. And he's actually done pretty well with Memphis over there establishing a defensive system. Facts. So you know what? Facts. I like that pick as well. So you know what? Those are my reasons for all those coaches across the board.
Real quick, shout out everybody in the YouTube chat. Jet Life for Life, what's good? I'm not sure if you're a Currency fan, but what up? Daniel Watkins, Carlito, what's good? Cody Emmanuel, what's good? Alonzo 1219, the U family, big Miami Hurricanes fan, what's good, Alonzo? Yeah, we're gonna take calls right after this. Right after I get into my coaching picks, we'll take your calls on the coaching picks, and then we'll move to the next topic. But my picks, my top three is this, man. I think this team, when I look at this team from top to bottom, I think the culture is still in a big need of being revamped, reestablished. We need to reestablish credibility here in New York. We need to get that respect back. Right now, we're the laughing stock of the league, man. I'm a Knicks fan, diehard Knicks fan, but it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the media or whether it's, you know, just league opinion. And listen, we do it to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Through the drama and the infighting and all just the nonsense that goes on. We bring it on ourselves. So I feel like culturally, we need to bring that respect back. And that's why Jeff Van Gundy is my number one choice. I feel like he number one, he's going to develop the players. He's going to develop Kristaps. He's going to bring that defensive intensity. Jeff knows what it is, what it takes to win in this town. It's a very unique situation, man. This is not a coaching job for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not a coaching job for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart, man. And I feel like we need somebody with thick skin that knows how to move in this town, that knows how to deal with the owner, deal with the organization. And at the same time, he's going to build a team. He's going to develop the young guys. He's gonna have us with an identity, which is what they also said in the press conference. We need somebody who's going to establish that identity. And I feel like that's who we need to kind of set the table and bring us back to a certain point, right? I don't think Jeff Van Gundy, he's not a guy that's going to be in here for the long term. But, you know, for a 4 or 5 year, you know, project to get it to the next guy who can, you know, lay that foundation for him. You know
I've heard rumblings that Knicks players like him as well.
Yeah.
They wouldn't mind having Jeff on board.
Lay that foundation. Second choice would be Dave Fizdale. I like Fizdale. I think he brings a defensive mentality. You know, they said him and Gasol had gotten into it in Memphis, and that's why he got fired so quickly. I'm not sure what happened in Memphis, you know what I'm saying? But I do know that they consistently play hard. They're in the West. It's consistently competed in the West. Finished third in defense last year in the West. I think the thing with the Wizards, I mean with the Grizzlies, was always a talent deficiency. Yes, Gasol did his thing. I'm not sure if you give Mike Conley that crazy deal that you gave him, because you kind of hamstring yourself from a cap standpoint. But I mean, he's a great player, great leader, great point guard, and he's a great defender. So I felt like they kind of hamstrung themselves with those 2 contracts, and they wasn't really able to build a solid team, especially competing in the West. And then on top of that, you know, where the way they compete and finish, you're not good enough to get, you know, a top caliber draft pick. So the Wizards were always in that middle, where now I feel like they got to bottom out and destroy and rebuild it. But I say that to say, I think Fizdale would be a good coach, a good young coach that we could build with. Obviously, he's going to bring that defensive intensity with him. Hopefully, you know, you find a offensive assistant that, you know, can keep the ball running, emphasize Kristaps' strengths, run that pick and roll, develop our point guards, and go from there.
Yeah.
Thirdly, I'll go with Mark. Thirdly, I'll go with Mark. I know the rumors and the doubts aside, I feel like, again, this is not your ordinary coaching situation. I feel like Mark, like Jeff, would know how to handle himself here. Obviously, I'm leery about, you know, his offensive mindset. You would hope that he would bring in an offensive assistant who, you know, emphasizes the trends of today's game, and again, gets Kristaps popping, get the point guards popping. But I know Mark is going to bring that defensive intensity. He's going to bring that grit. He's going to bring that hustle. I feel like he's going to hold players accountable.
Yeah.
The reason why I put him third is, again, it's not a good mix. You know what I mean? With his reputation for being an organizational malcontent is what they say. Mixed with the chaos at the top of the garden. I just don't feel like that would be a good mix, man. I don't feel like that would be a good mix, but I'm willing to take that chance. I'm willing to take that chance, man.
It's a gamble because, man, listen, if you step on Dolan's toe in New York, that story will blow up, be retweeted, sent, shared all over the place. So if Mark Jackson gets into it with anybody, the water boy, the cheerleader, the security guard, that's going to be news. It's going to be a distraction. It's going to be all over the paper. So you kind of have to, he has to be on his P's and Q's when it comes to, you know, playing well with others inside of the organization that are not the players. You know,
True indeed. So, we'll open the line right now. If y'all want to call up, share your opinion on the coach, who y'all want to coach, give us a call. The number's on the bottom. Alonzo, I know you were saying, what about Stackhouse? Call up, share your thoughts on Stackhouse. I think, my opinion on Stackhouse is, you know, he's a relatively unknown. You know, I wouldn't mind taking that gamble and seeing if he's somebody we could build with. I just feel like this situation is so unique. I'm not sure if he would be successful here.
Well, Stackhouse, he's done some things though. I think he coached some AAU ball. Yeah. He beat our Knicks G League team this season. We were number 1, and Stackhouse comes along and beats him. And I think he did the same thing last year.
Facts.
Where I'm not sure if he won in the G League last year or he got far in the G League last year with Stackhouse as the coach. So I know that's why he is on the radar. because of they see that kind of progress. And you know what? Same thing. He's been developing young guys. That's kind of been his thing lately. So you know what? Stackhouse is also probably a dark horse in this race for people who kind of following his career. So
yeah, I mean, like I say, he's coming highly touted. Definitely give him an interview. One of the things that management had emphasized in the press conference was somebody who understood analytics. Obviously in most sports, you've seen it a lot in baseball now, but almost where the team is being managed completely by the book. Straight up by the metrics, straight up by the analytics. So their comment there led me to believe that they were going with a bit more youth. But you never know. I mean, you could still go with a Van Gundy with a more analytics-minded assistant that can really run the offense. Yo. Yo.
Hello.
Yo. Hello. What's good, bro?
Yeah, this is Kody from Brooklyn. What's up?
Kody from BK. What's good, my dude?
What's going on, man?
I'm good. I just want to add a couple of things that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Guys, I will take the ball boy from San Antonio to be coach. Than a lot of these guys you guys are talking about. Listen, I'm Team Fizdale. I think he's one of the best coaches candidates I think we have this year. But Messina from San Antonio, I think people are sleeping on him.
I've been hearing that name as well. Yep.
I'm surprised he's not on anybody's radar right now. I think Becky Hammond, I know that there'll be a whole lot of conversation about a woman playing, coaching in the Garden. But I'll be open to interviewing her. I mean, I think
that's interesting too because
stuff on anyone, I think we gotta interview a couple of people because San Antonio is the standard. I mean, they have a farming system over there for coaches, for players, and for us to move in the direction I think Perry wants to move. Mm-hmm. I think you have to sit down with Messina. I think you have to sit down with Hammond to see if at least there is a match between Perry and them. I love what I heard from Perry and Steve Mills the other day. If they keep the blueprint, I think we'll be okay long term. But I'm surprised no one is bringing in San Antonio. Like you gotta talk to someone from San Antonio.
Jay Ellis, go ahead on that.
Oh yeah, man. Yo, man. You're absolutely right. You absolutely Here's the cool thing about I didn't even think about a Becky Hammond or San Antonio thing, but that's an interesting take because just from a history standpoint. Because you know what, Becky Hammond was a New York player also. She was in the WNBA for New York. She was balling with she was balling. She was I don't know. I haven't followed them so close on time, but I know when Hammond was with the Liberty, she was a baller. So that can be that's a pretty interesting just story wise. That's pretty interesting. But you know what, everybody's.
Do you think that'd be too big of a distraction?
I think yes. I think in the short term it'd be a big distraction just because it's New York, right? I think to be fair, Becky is my third choice. I think Messina is my first choice, Fizdale is my second choice, and Becky will be my third choice, even before Mark Jackson maybe. But you know what? I think being a player in the WNBA is different than being a coach for the NBA team. Let's not get that twisted, right?
Yeah,
I'm just talking about like a historical standpoint linked to the New York system, just kind of like Mark is and stuff. That's something.
Yeah. The only way I would consider Mark Jackson, guys, if it's a Mark Jackson, Lionel Hollins kind of combo. Mark Jackson has not proven to be an X and O's guy, analytics guy. I'm not saying but I need someone you need him to have a strong coaching team for him to be effective. And so if he's going to come on board, you need to have, I think, to be like a true veteran, like a defensive, someone who can really support him to make sure that he succeeds. But Mark Jackson is a motivator, which is great. But when you're in the playoffs, sometimes you have to rely on X and O's and strategy. I'm not sure if Mark Jackson is that guy. So that's why, to me, he's my third or fourth choice.
I feel you. I feel like all the coaches are kind of like defensive-minded coaches who, like, you kind of question whether their offense is going to be translatable.
We're going to take the next call. Go ahead, JLs.
Yeah, except for I feel like all the coaches on the list are kind of like defensive-minded coaches,
Facts.
where all the offensive, everyone on that list, the offense is kind of like the question mark. Like, can he really
Facts.
do that? I feel like it's across the board, with maybe the exception of Jay Wright.
True. Yo, who this?
Yo, what's good?
What's good, bro? Who this?
It's from Weekly Knicks TV.
Weekly Knicks TV. Noah Cahill. What's good, bro? What's your point?
What's good? I want to talk about coaches.
Okay.
But the first thing I hear people not talking about is people have to be worried, low-key, about Porzingis is, of course, our star player. But to me, that's pretty sad that he's entering his 4th year in the NBA, and it's his 4th coach already.
I mean, the stability is an issue, right? The stability is an issue. 11
Yeah,
coaches
yeah.
in 14 years, man. It's not a good thing. It's
Yeah, I
not a
definitely
good
mentioned
thing.
that. I definitely mentioned that earlier.
We're playing
Yeah.
around with his development. We need a long-term solution, man, and hopefully this is it. And I think the organization understands that. You know what I mean? I hope I'm not putting too much faith in this management, but I feel encouraged by their press conference and a lot of the things that they said. But I think you hit it right on the head. It's important, man. We need some stability for Porzingis, and he needs a coach that he can grow with as well.
Yeah, like he needs to find a bond with a coach like Jeff Hornacek. I didn't hate completely, but I don't think he was our coach moving forward. Like he has to find a coach like bond with the players, and he just doesn't have that much time to bond with the players. So it's like no point of having a specific coach yet. It's like, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Jay Ellis, what you think about that?
Yeah, man, I completely agree, man. And listen, last season we were talking about how disappointed Porzingis was because he didn't really see growth from year to year. So even though like people are happy that Jeff is gone, in the back of my mind I was kind of worried that he's still not seeing growth, and ultimately I want the team to be going A, in the right direction, and B, I want Kristaps to actually be happy and see some kind of improvement from year to year. Even I think I saw a quote today when they asked about Jeff Hornacek. He just kind of said, "It is what it is." I mean, you can take it. I don't know. When you read it, you don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But when I hear what it is, I don't feel like the confidence is all the way there yet. But hopefully we start to see some changes, and the next coach that we bring here is going to be here for like at least 5 years. I don't know. I want somebody long term.
I definitely agree with that. Yo, who this? Hello?
Hey, this is Danielle.
Danny, girl, what's good?
Yo, what's good?
Nah. Chilling. How are you guys?
Pretty good. What's happening?
So, in terms of this whole coaching situation, I feel like Steve Mills and Scott Perry kind of laid it out pretty well what they're looking for. They were talking about somebody who could bond with today's player, use analytics, somebody that's going to focus on defense and kind of be that person that New Yorkers can get behind. All of that sounds like Mark Jackson, right? Like he is known for defense. Offense, I feel like, I mean, even if you go from the basics of coaching youth basketball, if you can get the defense together, basic offensive principles can get you a shot. If we can build the roster, develop these guys from a shooting perspective, because we scored enough points to win games. We couldn't stop anybody. So if you can make similar offensive principles, our three-point defense, improve our interior defense, then I feel like we'll be in a much better position. I don't think Jeff Van Gundy is the guy for a couple of reasons, right? I feel like you already quit on us before. You already walked away.
Yeah, somebody did make that point. Somebody did make that point, and you do gotta admit that he did quit on us, and I wasn't really feeling that too.
Yeah, man.
Feeling that.
After a 5 or 6 game winning streak,
like he's been out of coaching for several years now. Like he's coaching the 19 and under USA team, but that's still developing the next 5 years player. That's not developing the current player in this generation. I don't think he's necessarily going to be able to kind of go from what he last had with, like, even with the Rockets to today's player, right? So I think Mark Jackson, having most recently coached, would be the guy, or even Fizdale. But I think Mark, as the New York guy, I feel like he probably learned from his mistakes in Golden State in terms of his relationships with the front office, and because the players loved him, it was his issues with the front office. But if he can get on the same page, I feel like that's where we can, kind of return to at least relevance.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like I agree with you mostly, except for one point. I don't think he's that analytics guy. I don't think he's that.
Who's that? Mark or Jeff?
Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that analytics offensive guy. I feel like he's gonna have two things to overcome. He's gonna have that, that persona that he can't get along with people. He has to overcome that, and he might have to be a little bit more flexible in his offense to be able to push the ball a little more. And like today's analytics is push the ball, and shoot the three, and less in between twos and just at the rim and the 3-point line,
Well, I think what it is with the analytics is I think you have to be willing to accept that approach in terms of your style. I don't think, you could have your assistant coaches, be dictating or recommending your approach based on the analytics. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it necessarily knocks out Jeff Van Gundy or Mark Jackson just because, that hasn't been their approach in the past. You just have to be open to it in using that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
In dictating their style.
To it. I mean, when Celtics had Tibbs was the main guy for defense. Doc took care of offense. You can find that balance. I just think Kurt Rambis and Jeff Hornacek were not that balanced for this Knicks team.
Nah, it's almost funny because I almost feel like if it wasn't for that thing with Noah and if Jeff Hornacek was kind of open, I would be open to having Jeff as the assistant to kind of help with the offensive side of the ball because I didn't really have like a problem with the offense per se. It was more the defense and the voice.
Yeah, we just couldn't stop anyone.
Couldn't stop anyone. Yo, Danny girl, appreciate the call, man. I'm gonna open the line up for Alonzo. Been waiting for a second,
thanks,
so yeah, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support all year, though. Stay in touch.
For sure.
All right.
It's gonna be interesting, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting, bro. We got let's see. This might be. Yo.
Yo.
yo, Carly, wait. Yo, wait. Let me get Alonzo in here, because Carlito, we know you the closer, man.
Man.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me get Alonzo. Because you're going to be here all day. Let me free it up for Alonzo. All right. Yo, Alonzo, go ahead, bro. Definitely call up. So, yeah, Jay Ellis, we got Fizdale coming in first. According to him, he's coming in next week.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, because I feel like they finally gonna we finally gonna get some stability in here. I just feel like this next guy is gonna be the guy we run with for the long haul.
Yeah, man. I just like the way this management moves, man. This management moves a lot smoother than all of other. Well, I mean, I think you know what. Anything after Phil seems smooth.
Yeah. Facts. Nah, but you know what, though? I just feel like, I don't know why I trust them, man. I just trust them. I feel like they're tired of the quick fix. They said it in the press conference. Quick fix. They preach patience. And I think, listen, Scott Perry, his job starts now. You know what I mean? This is going to be his coach. This is going to be his draft. This is going to be his free agency, whether it's this year, although I don't think they're doing nothing this year, but 2019, big one. 2020, big one.
And he's done decent moves so far, man. Like, if you really think about what Scott Perry's done so far, I mean, he got here. Phil was going to give Carmelo Anthony away for free.
Yeah.
He got fired. He got back Cantor McDermott in second-round pick, an early second-round pick. So that's going to be like, I don't know what number it is per se, but it's going to be very early. He's done some nice things in Sacramento, signing George Hill when there was nothing but scrubs over there. But somehow he convinced George Hill to come join him, drafting De'Aaron Fox. So I kind of like what he's done. He's drafted a few nice people in Orlando.
Facts. Yo,
what's up, man?
It's Alonzo.
Nah, Dr. Big Al.
What's up, Big Al? What's good, man?
Yo, Alonzo, man, my fault. I'm not sure why you're not able to get through, bro. Try again after Dr. Al. Dr. Al, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
Pretty good, man. So what do you think about this coaching search? Who's your top list Your top 3
You know,
candidates.
on the top of my list, I got Mark Jackson, man, for a few reasons. Number one being that we need to let the fans get that out their system, whether he's the right choice or the wrong choice. You know,
yeah,
too many fans calling for that, calling for Mark Jackson. You know.
Yeah, but Dr. Al, man, every time we get what we want, it always goes south. You ever notice that? We wanted D'Antoni, it went south. We wanted Larry Brown, it was a complete nuclear disaster.
Nuclear.
We even wanted Phil to be the GM with no experience.
We wanted Phil to be coach.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
That never happened.
That never happened.
The other part of me wanting Mark is I don't think free agents are coming here, you know, just like that. I mean, we lost a lot of lust as far as, being the mecca of basketball in New York and, just being a place where people want to come. And I think Mark could attract some of the free agents, bigger names in the league, make this place a little more.
So you think he'll bring that clout?
People want to come again.
You think he'll bring that clout?
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it's been said that players like him, and I said before that Golden State team is not going to last forever. And, when, there'll be a time when Clay is a free agent, when Draymond is a free agent, even when Steph is a free agent, that,
I hope Clay shakes out. I hope Clay shakes out. That's my pick for 2019.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
If it's not Kawhi, give me Clay Thompson in here. I think Clay's going to shake out of that group.
Yeah, I mean, not only them, around the league, there's players like him, man. He has that name as being one of the likable coaches around the league, players coach, as they say, right?
Yeah.
So,
Now, Dr. Al, let me ask you though, what about why don't you think he's gotten any opportunities to coach since that Golden State team? Just playing devil's advocate.
Well, it's been pointed out his relationship with management. There's also another incident that happened during his time in Golden State that, I hate to bring up myself, but it's out there. If you research it, with his personal life, I should say.
Right.
And that kind of probably brought a sour taste to management at that time.
You think he's blackballed?
Excuse me?
Do you think he's blackballed?
I'm not hearing you clearly. Sorry.
Do you think he's blackballed from the league?
Maybe to a certain degree. I mean, I think also, he's been comfortable in his job at, with ABC and
calling the games.
Gundy.
I like that team.
I think he's been comfortable, so it's not like he's been desperate to get back in coaching. I'm sure he gets paid pretty well for what he's doing. He's one of the better, broadcasters and analysts.
Most definitely.
On ABC.
He might not just get the right. He might not just be getting that right offer. Because I heard Van Gundy say the same thing. Right. Van Gundy's been getting offers, but he's just like whatever.
Gundy waiting for that next bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they both was comfortable with what they doing. They form a nice team. They most of the time they're on air together, and nothing has come up attractive enough to drag them away from that. So I can't say he's been blackballed, but it might be. I don't remember hearing him getting any other offers from any other teams or interviews.
That's my thing. I feel like I mean, we've heard it. You alluded to a lot of it, Dr. Al. The personal stuff. Even when he finished out his career in Utah, there was, some rumors he tried to start a mutiny over John Stockton and them guys. That can't fly. Golden State, who's a very liberal style management ownership, didn't work out there, obviously, with Mark's more conservative views, I guess. But it just really, that's the only thing that really, I guess makes me leery of bringing him back. The story aside is great. I would love to see him back here, but
that media, tough. Man.
That media, you know what I'm saying?
This New York media, if something goes wrong, it's gonna go all the way wrong.
It's true, man. But I think as fans, we just need to get that out of our system. Whether it works out or not.
For better or for worse, right?
For better or for worse.
See what happens, right?
Yeah, that we know better, not
I
to.
feel you.
I ain't trying to play with the development of KP just for the fans, man. I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
I don't know, man. But yo, Dr. Al, man, definitely appreciate the call, man. Please call
No doubt.
again.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely,
man.
Enjoy the weekend, bro.
Thanks for calling, man. My guy, my guy Al over here.
Dr. Al, Knicks Therapy. Yo, I don't know if Alonzo's still in the chat, man. Let's see. This might be Alonzo. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, man? This is Alonzo. What's good,
Alonzo, man.
Yo, what's good?
Man. What's good, bro?
Hey, I'm on the road. I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem, but I live in South Carolina now.
Okay.
So I'm on my way to Miami to go to the spring game,
Okay.
I'm a diehard Knicks fan, man, and love your channel, man. I got a YouTube channel as well, man.
Yep. I'm subscribed to your channel as well, man. Yo, go ahead, plug your channel real quick. Go ahead, plug your channel for the Miami Hurricane fans.
It's a Hurricane channel. It's Alonzo 1219.
Okay.
The U family, man. It's a Hurricane channel, man. It's a totally different format. I like y'all format, though, but it's a totally different format, man. It wouldn't encourage on none that y'all do, but I'm definitely going to share y'all with the Knicks fans on my channel, man.
Definitely.
I got right at 2,500 subscribers, man, so y'all going to blow up pretty quick, man, here in New York. So.
That's what's up, man.
My thing with... I want to see a young coach. I'm not with seeing like Mark Jackson. The reason being is for most of the stuff y'all stated, and I just think he's a stubborn guy. I think he's one of them dudes who's going to do it his way or no way. He's not going to be willing to listen to other people, man. That's just type personality he has.
Yeah. And that's why I don't know if it's going to work with that management, man. We're not stable enough up top.
I don't want it to work with the players. I think that the players want to play basketball, and it's the reason why people keep saying Mark Jackson built that team, but that team drafted that team. He got them ready to play defense, but Steph Curry and Draymond Green didn't even play under Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
He really didn't even play.
Monte was a guy.
That's a great point. That's a great point. It took Curry to come over there and get Draymond some minutes.
With that slow pace offense, and I'm not with all that. I think they need to get a fresh set of eyes in there. I'm all for Fizdale, all for Stackhouse. The Villanova coach, he can coach, but he's been there for a long time, and he's not a young guy either, so I don't know how good he would be in the NBA. I just don't know. I mean, he hasn't done it, you know what I'm saying? Stackhouse is an NBA lifer, so he understands the game.
Right. It's not guaranteed that Jay Wright would have that same success. I agree with that. It's not guaranteed he would have that same success.
Exactly. And another thing I like to see, I don't know when Ntilikina got drafted, and you look at even the scouts from overseas. Even those scouts are saying he's not a point guard, he's a shoot guard. He's not a point guard. That's what they kept saying. Mm-hmm. And we keep trying to force him into the point. Trey Burke's a point guard. He's a point guard of today. I hate it when people say, "Well, he's not a traditional point guard." You look at his turnover ratio and his assist ratio.
Yeah,
he's
actually
higher than most point guards of today. But he's a scoring point guard, and that's what the league is today. Ntilikina needs to be off guard because he plays better. They need to get a coach that can get those to the play together. Yeah. And I think that'll be a nice young backcourt. But I'm not with moving Frank back to the point guard.
Right.
And they need to get a coach that can develop these young players, man.
So I hear a lot of people, and myself included, we always say we got to get Frank to do this, we got to get Frank to do that. What do you do with Tim Hardaway Jr., man? That's a $17 million question. Like, what do we put Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Well, look at the league today. Tim Hardaway is 6'6". Tim Hardaway is 6'6", and he put on a lot of muscle last year. It's amazing how much muscle tone he put on. Just look at his size. Mm-hmm. He's 6'6", and he's not a small. He'll be an average size 3 today. The threes, you have a few threes that's 6'9", 6'10", and all of them is KD and Greek Freak.
Right.
I don't know about that. He's oversized.
6'9" point.
So you saying you would put Timmy at the 3?
He's having problems defensively over there a lot of nights, man. Especially like he's like the Bucks and LeBron.
Mike and Trey was in the backcourt, and he played the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
he does.
Any issue with him playing the 3? The positions you need to be big at is the 4 and the 5. The 3, I mean, it's really not too much a difference between 6'6" and 6'7". You know what I'm saying? And the average 3 in today's league is 6'7". You might have some matchup problems when you play against KD and the Greek Freak, but they match up problems against everybody.
That's true.
How many dominant wings are there that scoring wings in the league? That's 6'8", 6'9", 6'10"?
That's true.
It's not that many. It's not that many. That's how I look at it. You can get up. Timmy's athletic as anybody. You can get up. You can get up the court with him. He put on some muscle on. If anybody pays attention to him from when he came in to him now, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
You know, he's a solid dude, and he can play the wing. I really feel like the only position will be small at is the point guard.
Right.
But Steph Curry's short. And even what's name's not that tall.
I just feel
Westbrook's not that tall. They say he's 6'4", but you look at him besides Curry, he's not that much taller than Curry. Curry's 6'2".
Well, I mean, in that situation, like you said, you want Frank out there to guard, you know, them more you know, beastly point guards, the Hardens and them type.
Yeah,
of
man.
But it's gonna be a tough challenge to see. It's gonna be interesting to see how they manage the guards this year.
Yeah, man.
I watched Trey Burke at the end of the season this year. I'm talking about play lockdown defense on some point guard. Would not let them get around them. Force them baseline. Force them to the help. That's what you do as a point guard. You force the other point guard. If he's bigger than you, force him to help. And then you got point guards like my boy in Philly. He's 6'9", but he can't shoot. If he can have a jump shot, he's gonna be unstoppable.
Ben Simmons. Yeah, Ben Simmons. I don't think he's a 3-pointer yet.
Yeah, I mean he can't shoot. And if he ever gets to the point where he can shoot, then you switch Frank on him. You're not gonna have 2 6'8", 6'9". You're not gonna have a 6'8", 6'9" point guard and shooting guard. If the league comes at, then you really in some trouble. You know.
I know.
I like to see them young guys play together, man. And with a young coach who can develop them, they're like your boy said about KP having 4 coaches in 4 years or whatever. We need to get a guy who can coach that team together, and that's why I like Stackhouse. You know.
Yeah. I would take that. Go ahead, JL. Go ahead.
I don't know. I still feel like there's something weird. I still feel like Frank can still, eventually play the 1. Right now, he's a 2 for real that can pass really, really well. And I feel like there's like some aggressive problems that has to be kind of addressed for him to play the 1 full time. But I feel like he took some steps during the end of the year. He's 19. He has a chance to actually, move into that role and be the 1. And if we do that, then it'll be easier to have Tim at the 3 long term. Because as of now, the way that team is built, it's kind of weird to have, be undersized at the 1 and the 3. And it's a lot to kind of overcome on the defensive end long term. So I would be tough. That would be tough. How tall is Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson 6'7". He plays at 3.
Yeah, Klay about 6'7".
6'7".
What about Jason Tatum?
I mean, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is different because Klay Thompson has always been good. Klay Thompson has always been a good defender. I feel like Tim Hardaway Jr. is spotty.
Even after 2, he's spotty.
Young though, but he's still young. And you get a guy that can coach him up. But my thing is, sometimes you are who you are. And even, like I said, even the scouts that was overseas, scouts said he's not a point. If you look at the draft night, they said he's not a point guard. They said he played point guard, he's going to be serviceable. He's not going to be an NBA all-star, none of that point guard, because that's not who he is. And we're trying to force. I mean, you can see when he bring the ball up court now. As soon as he come up court, first thing he's doing is passing it off. He's throwing it to whoever behind him. He's not running the offense.
I know. Towards the end of the year, though, I feel like I've seen them do that less. Is it just me, or is it? Have you seen that Knicks Fan TV or anybody in the chat? I feel like he's been doing that a little less towards the end of the year.
That's because he started playing a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end of the year, the last 10 games of the year, Trey been at the 1, he been at the 2. So now when you get on the ball, he attacks because he's not looking to set everybody up. He's not looking, you know what I'm saying? He attacks the defense. But at the 1, he doesn't understand the concept of it. Plus, he doesn't have the ball handling skills.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the handles. He just does not have that to play the 1. He's not a ball handler.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. I think he's gonna be better off at the off ball. You hope his offense. You hope his shooting improves, his decision making improves. I just don't think he has the speed and the ball handling, like Alonzo said, to really run the offense efficiently. But I still think his offensive awareness he needs to be in there, and I think it's gonna improve as the years to come.
I think he could be an all-star at the shooting guard because he doesn't hesitate when he's at the shooting guard. If you throw him the ball, and he shoots like 40% from 3-point range,
Right.
and he gets to the lane when he's playing off the ball. I just think he thinks too much on ball, and he's just not quick enough to play the point guard. Point guards are way quicker than shooting guards, man. Especially in today's NBA.
True.
I just don't see him as a point. I could be wrong. I want him to succeed regardless. I could be wrong, but I just don't see him as a point.
Well, I mean, you know what? You know, in the management press conference, they said they ready for positionless basketball, right? So, I mean, back in the day, it didn't matter if you was point guard shooting ball. Everybody bring the ball up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody bring the ball up. Everybody distribute. I mean, the guards at least. So,
that's how it is now too.
That's how it is now.
Look at
So exactly. So, you know, it may not really matter. You just want to see his offense catch up to the defense. Make sure his jump shot is more consistent. Get more aggressive out there. He's going to get physically bigger in the off season. So
that's the other thing too, man.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't had an NBA workout yet. He's only been playing under C. So all that agility stuff that all these Dennis Smith Juniors, everybody had the advantage of taking advantage of in the States. He hasn't even had that yet. He's going to be working on twitch muscles this summer. He's going to be working on getting bigger. Like he hasn't done nothing. That's going to be crazy.
I think he could be big and strong. I have no issue with his size, his strength. I think all that's going to come to him. I just don't think he's going to get quicker.
No, you can get quicker. You can train yourself to be quicker. You definitely can. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not sure, man. You think so? I don't know, man.
Listen, I have a cousin who trains. I have a cousin who trains people how to be faster. Like you can train people.
Could you give me an example of somebody that trained himself to be quicker?
No, you can do exercises. There's like exercises to teach you how to. My cousin, he trains people in the off season how
explosiveness
to build their explosiveness. He hasn't had any of that whatsoever, not even a little bit overseas. He has no explosiveness training. He has no weight training whatsoever. He has none of that. So we don't know how fast he's going to be, how explosive he's going to be. We don't have no idea how that is going to change within the next 3 or 4 years. All that is yet to be seen.
I agree with you on that, but I know how fast Trey Burke is with the ball in his hands right now, and I know the offense runs way better with the ball in his hands right now.
Oh, I'm not disputing that at all.
His handles is quick. He has that mid-range, that little pull-up. That little pull-up shot he got when he get in the lane is almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
And I just feel like with this young team that we have, leave those guys where they're at for a season. And let's see if we can develop. We all about developing.
Continuity,
Let's see if we can develop those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I mean, I like to see him. I like to see Trey at the 1, Frank at the 2, and Timmy at the 3, and Porzingis. Yeah. We're gonna be long at the 4 and 5 because we got a 7'3". We got a 7'3" power forward. I mean, that's crazy. We're gonna be long at the 4 and 5.
Facts.
Here's my thing.
Walk around and play defense. Defense is effort anyway.
That's true.
Defense is effort. Ain't nobody posting up Name me one person in the NBA that posts up now, especially from 1 through 4.
Yeah, that's true.
Not many.
So I'm not worried about height.
Now I'm saying long term the NBA. I am long term. The NBA is getting taller, man. The NBA is getting taller, so I'm totally on board with having Trey start at least for next year. But I still want to have Frank get some backup minutes at that point guard position.
You're gonna see that. You definitely gonna see that. Yo, Alonzo, man, we gonna free up the line, man.
It,
yo, safe travels down to the U, man. Let's get this W.
Word.
Have a good
love, man.
For you too, man.
Oh yeah, I'm rep all day, man. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure that all the fans know that you guys rep the U, man, and try to get. Matter of fact, I had y'all call into the show one day, man, and we have a conversation, man. Try to get y'all some subscribers over there, man. I love the show.
Yo,
man.
Let's do it, man. Definitely keep in touch, man. Good to hear from you,
man.
Bro.
All right, family. Y'all boys be good, man.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah, it was Alonzo, man. Finally got through. Appreciate the call. Carlito, go ahead, man. I know you've been waiting for a while, so go ahead, call up. There we go. Right away. He know the timing.
Yeah, he's
right on time, bro.
Yo.
He should have done the bashful yo now.
All right, man. Go ahead, Carlito, man. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, I hear, to piggyback off the last conversation, I hear everything, y'all was talking about with Frank, but I sort of disagree. I think Frank actually played better at the 1. His only problem was that Frank was sort of like just a little bit too passive. Like,
yeah.
Frank, he had where everyone would touch the ball. You want to see that.
as a point guard, everyone touching the ball, you know? Because I don't know if you remember Frank, you know, his assists, if he got the right minutes, he'll give you that 6-7 assists.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think, like, he was okay at the point. I think at the 2, he's okay too. But the thing is that if you're running a set offense, Frank can't be your 2 because he's not really well with, you know, coming behind screens, backdooring, and stuff like
he
that.
wasn't there yet this year.
Frank is not good with that. Frank is more okay. You know, I could run the play. Now, I don't know if you saw in the beginning, he was running plays.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, he was. I'm sorry. Oh, you good? Oh, I ain't want to cut you up. Now I said what Frank is good at the 2 as of now. He's good at the spot up 3 right now. I feel like he's his best weapon at the 2 right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then listen, I can't wait because Frank, he's going to I don't know. I know you guys already seen this. Once Frank gets that come off the curl pick, you know, that little dribble, he comes off the curl, you know, and the defenders go under. He's gonna knock that shot down every time.
Yeah,
that's his game.
Yeah,
that stuff that he does, that's his game. You can tell because he does it all the time.
Facts.
You know?
Yeah, I can't wait to see how he evolves, man. I can't wait to see how this kid evolves.
Crossover and shoot the J. That's his game. And with the top 3 coaches, you know, at first I was all Mark, but now after reading all these different things, you know, I'm a little bit on Jay Wright. I think Jay Wright is the perfect guy. For me, it's Jay Wright, then it's Fizdale, then it's Mark.
Interesting.
I say Jay Wright because, first of all, you know, he's more into the NBA game. Obviously, he's training the college. He you know, he's coaching college kids who are going into the league. You know, so obviously the new game is the people who are coming through.
Yeah,
you know,
you cut off, but I know where you're going.
Yeah. I mean,
and number 2.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the whole Fizdale, everyone made it seem like Fizdale was like so good. I mean, his record last year when they went to the playoffs, well, they were only 42-39.
Yeah, they lost in the first round. But like I said, I mean, listen,
like they made it seem like he was the guy that brought them to the Western Conference Finals or something.
Nah, that was Lionel Hollins. That was Lionel Hollins. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think in fairness to Fizdale, he became that hot candidate. Number 1 being the defensive coach for that Miami team, them championship teams. Also, like I said, they finished 3rd last year in the Grizzlies in defense, 3rd in defense. You know, it was a talent to me. Like I said, eventually talent and coaching have to meet at some point. You know what I'm saying? It can't be all talent. It's not going to be all coaching. Like, they have to converge at some point to build
but that's why I like a guy like Jay Wright because he's young and he could grow. It's almost like when Pop came into that Spurs situation, him, Ginobili, Duncan, Parker, and even Robertson, they all basically grew together as the coaches and the players. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's what you want. You know, you don't want somebody coming in here because that's what it seems to be like.
We need somebody we could grow with, man. Absolutely, need somebody we can grow with.
A coach will come in here, right, and say, "Well, I used to do things this way. I need things to go my way." No, just like what Harry said, all 3 of us. This is a growing thing together. We're all growing together. They're all you know. So I think to put the pieces together, if you want the whole, you know, monarchy alignment, you're gonna need a guy like Jay Wright. You know, that's my pick. Jay Wright.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And I have to say some things about Perry.
What you think of the press conference?
When he fired Jeff, it showed me that Perry's not afraid to let guys go, because you got some GMs, right, that, you know, they might fire somebody or they might sign someone, whatever the case may be, but they might be a little bit too nice. And that was my thing with Perry. I was like, yo, I hope Perry's not one of those guys where he's so nice.
Because he seems like a nice guy. For real.
He does. He seems like a down to earth dude.
people will look at that and they'll run over you because it's a dog-eat-dog world, especially in New York. You know, everyone's trying to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what? With the thing with Perry though is that him being the new GM, he's gonna bring in his own guy eventually, especially if this old guy isn't getting the job done. You know, the new GM, whenever you have a new regime in any sport, they always gonna wait for that opportunity to bring in their own guy if the guy that's currently in the position is not getting the job done. So with Perry, it's like, you know, this is what his contract is riding on. Like I said, it's gonna be his coach.
But I'm glad he didn't do it. I'm glad he didn't wait to do it. Like he didn't wait 2 days.
They pulled him into the terminal at JFK.
He didn't wait 2-3 days. Everyone on social media got the eyes emoji. Like, okay, so what's going on with this situation?
Nah, right away. They kicked it into high gear.
So he handled that right away.
Perfectly. But it also leads you to realize that this has been in the working. This has been in the planning. Like their decision was set.
You could tell they was watching this guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
They was watching.
The decision made like 10 games ago.
Right.
You know?
That's it.
And when Courtney Lee backed up Coach Hornacek saying, "Oh, it's not his fault that he had 2 All-Stars go down."
The injuries. He pointed to the injuries.
You know what? It's not his fault and everything, but guess what? It's his fault that I don't give a damn who you are. If you up by 20 points in the third, fourth quarter, you should not be losing that damn game.
Yeah.
You should not.
You shouldn't.
That is definitely his fault.
It's facts.
Definitely. The game when we playing Charlotte and when Trey Burke put up 42 points, he wasted Trey Burke's performance. There's no way in hell we should have lost that game. No way in hell.
Yeah.
I feel you, man. That's why I'm not even like on the Doc Rivers train. Really, I'm not shaky on Doc Rivers for that. He blew that the Clippers thing. I'm like, yo, Doc, how you let that happen, Doc?
Yeah, but don't get me started with the Clippers, man. Don't get me started with the Clippers, man. That team is so damn overrated. Yo, Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan are 2 of the most overrated players in the NBA, man.
They were up 3-1.
Yo,
3-1.
Listen, I agree with that. They choked. But that team, in fairness to Doc, man, CP3 was the brains and the brawn of that team.
That's why I don't want Doc, because I think, every team, you ever realize every team that Doc leaves is always a bad applause with his players.
Yeah, Doc. I think Doc. He's a little bit too political, man.
I think
he's too.
Like
It's always
like
something.
Mark.
Yeah.
Doc and Mark fall into the same boat.
It's something up. Something is up with him.
Listen, Doc Rivers in here.
Oh man.
KP's gonna want.
Oh yo, man.
They said that. Say what you have to say.
Yeah, Jay.
I was listening to this podcast. I was listening to the Michael Rappaport podcast, and they had Nate Robinson on there, and they was talking about how he told a story he never told before, talking about how Doc Rivers benched him for a game in the playoffs, and they ended up losing that game because he wanted to play Ray Allen, even though Ray Allen was sucking and Nate Robinson was balling. He was like, "Oh, Ray Allen might retire, so you know what? We're gonna let them." Go with them, win or lose, and Nate and Big Baby were like, "But we pulled out that last game. You're not gonna." And he still carries that. And he still carries that like. Damn, he's disdain for Doc after that move.
Yeah, I'd be leery with Doc, man. Shout out Ken Sniffy Jr. in the YouTube. What up, Ken Sniffy Jr.? Ken Sniffy Jr. in the YouTube. Who else, man? Who else?
Yo, I saw somebody talk about Sexton earlier. I'm a Sexton fan.
Yeah, you a Sexton guy?
I'm a Sexton fan.
You like the Sexton guy?
I don't know, man. I don't see him being much.
Nah, he doesn't do any justice for me. I think we already have a Sexton. Frank is our Sexton, to be honest.
Yeah. Might as well just rock with Frank. I don't think Sexton is really. He's not a sexy pick, man. I think he's a steady pick. I think he's no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think we already got Frank. Let's just rack with Frank and Burke and for the year and see what happens, man. We're gonna be in the lottery anyway next summer, so if by somehow we don't see it moving, we'll get somebody else. Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the story where when Doc was coaching in Orlando?
Mm-hmm.
Tim Duncan was about to sign.
Yep.
And he said, "Can I bring anybody on the plane?" He said, "No, nobody."
Oh, I heard that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how you lost Tim Duncan.
That's how he lost Tim Duncan.
So many different L's, and Tracy.
Whose man's is that, man? Damn, that was
Duncan.
Facts.
That was
facts,
oh
man.
My God.
But yo, Carlito, appreciate it, man. I got a hard stop at coming up on 2. I gotta go get chopped up. Yo, it's a beautiful day in New York, man. I gotta get out and get a drink. I can't be talking Knicks all day,
I'm headed
man.
to a baby shower, man.
Oh, there you go. Is it yours?
Nah.
Congrats, Carlito. Hey, you know we got a little Lito coming down.
French Hefner was good.
Yo, don't be saying that, man. That's another 5 years, man.
Yo, Carlito, man, hit us up. Lottery show May 15th. Holla at us.
Yo, anybody play ball?
Definitely watching them lottery balls.
Let's get it going, man. Enjoy the weekend, bro.
Anybody playing ball in Brooklyn? I'm about to play some balls. Yep. Sometime today.
What you saying? You gonna go play ball today, bro?
Yeah, I got to. We see outside. It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful day, man. It's definitely a beautiful day. French Hefner was good. French Hefner just got into the chat. He says we got to try to trade up for Michael Porter or Trae Young. No matter who our coaches, they won't be able to do nothing without talent. That's true, man. Like I said, talent. Ultimately, the talent got to reach the coach, and hopefully that concoction gets you to some competitive basketball. So we need some players, man. I don't know if we're gonna be able to trade up. Is Michael Porter a guy that you trade up for, Jay Ellis?
I like Michael Porter, but it's hard. Trading up is not easy.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not the NFL. It's tough.
Yeah, man. I mean, if anything, I still kind of feel like this way the whole year. I mean, Miles, I know everybody's saying Macau, but I feel like Miles might have a little more of a ceiling. But he might be even low. He might get drafted lower, but I feel like he can go higher. Like he can eventually end up being better.
Could.
So if anything,
yeah, he could.
Maybe trade down.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Let me plug because I'm gonna wrap up, bro. Let me plug the lottery live stream. Next live stream is gonna be May 15th, right after the lottery. We're gonna be taking your phone calls. Let us know what you think about what position we get. Who do you want to draft? Do you want to trade up? Did you think it was fixed? Did we get the number 1 pick? Do we have a party if we get the number 1 pick?
Yes.
Let us know your thoughts, man. So that's gonna be the next one. Definitely May 15th. Appreciate everybody. Oh, NFX Skills. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Appreciate everybody coming through. Have a good Saturday. Jay Ellis, I'm gonna swing it over to you. Plug the podcast. Plug the live.
Yeah, man. If you want to check me out somewhere else, check my podcast. It's me and my friends talking mad stuff, talking all these inappropriate stuff, telling OD jokes. SoundCloud.com/The Nick of Time Show. Check us out there. Also check me out on Instagram on The Nick of Time Show, and on Twitter too. The KOT Show.
You already know, man. And as usual, I'm at Knicks Fan TV, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Hit us up. We always talking Knicks. Definitely love the conversation. Shout out to everybody that came through today. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Alonzo, Carlito, Kody, thanks for calling up. Danny Girl, thanks for calling up. Air Force Ups 1. Noah Cahill, thanks for calling. Who else in here?
Big Al. I got Big
Tommy
Al.
Guns, welcome to the squad. Definitely call up for the lottery show. And yeah, man, Yaron, appreciate it. But yeah. Yo, like I said, man, this is what Post Game Live is all about. Me and my man Jay Ellis been collaborating on this for a couple of games now. Definitely a great process, great show. Not a great show unless y'all call up. So the more involvement from everybody, the better it is. Share these videos with your fellow Knicks fan. Definitely follow us on social media. Check out the Nick of Time podcast on SoundCloud. And yeah.
The Nick of Time Show on SoundCloud.
The Nick of Time Show on SoundCloud.
Yes, I switched it out. Yeah. For branding purposes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And again, man, thanks for everybody for watching, and enjoy the weekend. May 15th, lottery show. Next show, check us out. Call us up. Peace.